שבת אחים גם יחד, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
Hine ma tov u'manayim shevet achim gam yachad. How wonderful it is for all of us to be here together, the remnant, the ones who will stay until the gates close at 7:32 tonight. Just kidding, it's not just okay. It is good to see you all here. Thank you for being here to worship with us as the gates close. I'm Rabbi Paul Kippur, Rabbi Julia Weiss, and Cantor Doug Kotler. We welcome you here to Nila services at Congregation Or Ami. We welcome all of you who are worshiping with us via the live stream. Hopefully the sound is going on now. If not, but we'll get it here soon. We're on? Okay, we're going. Then we're glad you're here. Ignore that last part. Page 149. Don't worry, we're skipping. On this day of atonement, we pray, sustain us and strengthen us together. Keep us mindful of the meaning of the prayers we utter. Make us sensitive to the purposes. Keep us hungry for Torah and give us the will to study it. Keep us hungry for peace and give us the strength to work for it. Keep us hungry for love and give us the understanding to earn it. Keep us hungry for your forgiveness and give us the humility to ask for it.
In this Kippur, O God, may our hunger provide us food for our souls.
If you need the words to listen, you will find them on page 113, 113.
If you're lost, you feel afraid, and you don't know what to say, then listen to our God. Is there a question on your mind? Is the answer hard to find? Then listen
And services are over.
Singing, am I on? Singing Listen, that is Jacqueline Wu. She doubles as the daughter of our violinist for the High Holidays. So, and that's her brother, what's his name? Spencer. So, there we go. How old are you? 7 years old. So some of you, when you grow up. Page 149 at the bottom of the page. We are hungry for food today because we have chosen to fast, yet we hunger for other things throughout the year. We hunger for love and affection.
We hunger for other people to need us. We hunger to know that we are important to others.
We hunger for dignity and self-respect. We hunger for a sense of purpose.
We hunger to see good things in the world, courage, faith, kindness, and love. Sustainer of Israel, help us to satisfy our hungers physically and spiritually. Enable us to nourish others by giving of ourselves.
Be with us, O God of Israel, as we gather here in prayer on this Day of Atonement. Help us to be at one with you and with our neighbors. Help us above all to be at one with ourselves so that these precious days are not lost to pretense and self-deception.
Give us the strength to speak out honestly in prayer and to know ourselves as we are human beings again, sinning. Keep us from blaming others or blaming you. Help us instead to accept the responsibilities of our lives so we may grow in spirituality and goodness according to your will.
Please rise.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'hanora El Elyon גומל חסדים טובים וקונה הכל וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם למען שמו באהבה. זוכרנו לחיים חופץ sorry בחיים וחוטבנו בספר החיים למענך אלוהים טעים למענך 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 אלוהים למענך למענך אלוהים חיים למענך 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 אלוהים למענך למענך אלוהים חיים זוכרנו לחיים דרך העץ בחיים מלך חוזר ומושיע ומגן ברוך אתה אדוני מגן אברהם Bezrat Sarah, Shma Koleinu, Benashuva, Benashuva, Shma Koleinu, Benashuva.
Page 152. God's gift to us is the power and the freedom to choose. Humans are not angels, nor are we robots. We are forever faced with choices of good and evil, blessing and curses. The struggle is ceaseless. The choice is ours.
Been created, minds able to think with thoughts, hearts capable of good intentions. Often we fail to fulfill this capacity to live up to the promise of God's pure gift. We've been created with eyes, the blessing of sight, to see the world's beauty and the holiness of all of its creatures.
We have been created with ears to hear sacred words, to hear sounds of wisdom, beauty, and love.
We have been created with mouths and tongues, with the gift of speech that God gave to no other creature. With words we try to pray, with words we speak, with love to God and human beings.
But malice, pettiness, falsehood, and slander have sullied our speech. With words we have mocked God's gift, shaming neighbor and stranger, cursing, laughing at pain of others, uttering false oaths, insincere pledges, and vain promises. We have been created with hands, the ability to sense creation through touch, the capacity to transmit tenderness.
We have been given legs to walk in God's path, to pursue God's commandments.
We have been blessed with life and with the ability to share and transmit joy.
All that we are, body and soul, are bared before God and before our own examination. We are burdened by the bad choices we have made. We've marred the pure beauty of our souls through our misdeeds.
At the bottom of the page, Al chet shechatanu lefanecha, together. For all these sins, we ask God and each other to give us the strength to forgive ourselves and one another, for pretending to have emotions we do not feel, for using the sins of others for giving up our dreams,
For false pride,
for self-contempt,
for withholding the helping hand,
for demanding instant gratification, for expecting too much, for cooperating with self-destructive behavior in others and in ourselves, for trying to possess and control those we love, for doubting our ability to love or to receive love from others.
Ve'al kulam Eloha slichot, slach lanu, machal lanu, prepare lanu. For
All these sins, O God of compassion, forgive us, pardon us.
Restore us.
Ve'al kulam Eloha selichot, selach lanu
examine not only our own personal lives, but also our responsibilities as part of our community, our people, and our nation. We seek forgiveness.
And for the sins we have committed by not publicly supporting the Jewish people in Israel when they are being treated or criticized unfairly.
And for the sin of not spending more time engaged in learning Jewish tradition and studying Jewish history, literature, and holy texts.
We sin against you when we sin against ourselves for our failures of justice, O God. We ask forgiveness for us and all humanity.
For worshiping money, for ignoring the problems in our society, for not acknowledging the human rights of others, for not addressing injustice, for turning away from the plight.
For turning away from the victims of oppression, for tolerating racism, for tolerating discrimination of any group,
For dismissing the disenfranchised. Ve'al kulam Eloah slichot, slach lanu, machal lanu, kaper lanu. For all these sins, O God of compassion, forgive us, pardon us, restore us.
Ve'al kulam Eloah selichot, selach lanu v'chal lanu kaper lanu.
Together, for the sin which have committed against by For the sin we have committed by dividing our cities into slums and gated communities. For the sin of threatening the survival of species on our planet. For the sin of filling the common air with poisons. For the sin of making our waters unfit to drink and unsafe for marine life. For the sin of pouring noxious chemicals upon trees and soil. For the sin we have committed by appeasing aggressors. For the sin which we have committed before you by not working for peace. Eloah slichot, slach lanu, machal lanu, kaper lanu. For all these sins, O God of compassion, forgive us, pardon us, restore us.
Ve'al kulam Eloah selichot, selach lanu v'chal lanu kaper lanu. Ve'al kulam Eloah selichot, slach lanu v'chal lanu, selach lanu v'chal lanu kaper lanu.
We thank you, O Mentor of Israel, for our family and for what we mean and bring to one another. We are grateful for the bonds of loyalty and affection which sustain us and which keep us close to one another, no matter how far apart we may be. We thank you for implanting within us a deep need for each other, for giving us the capacity to love and to care, and for enabling us to share our simchas and our suras together.
Help us to be modest in our demands of one another, but generous in our giving to each other. May we never measure how much love or encouragement.
Grateful that we have none, and that we are able to express our love in acts of kindness.
Keep us gentle in our speech when we offer words of criticism. May they be chosen with care and spoken softly. May we waste no opportunity to speak words of sympathy, of appreciation, and of praise.
Health and happiness and contentment above all. O source of peace, bless the whole family of Israel with peace.
Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim. Chen v'chesed, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, v'rachamim. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Amecha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim shalom, tova uvracha. Sim
Please rise. Take your hand and go like this. You can put your prayer book down for a second. Take your other hand and go like this. And put your hand in the hand of the people next to you. Hey. And you can turn them over if you want. Community, the blessing of community, is a gift that when we open our eyes to it, as Rabbi Julia talked about on Erev Rosh Hashanah, there is incredible healing power. Let go of the hand for a second and just put your hand out. Most of us now cannot feel our own hand. But now take the hand of the one next to you. And not only do you feel your own hand, but someone else's too. It's within a community with other people that we gain strength, consolation, support, often hope, strength, and life and love. It's in community when, as we talked about on Rosh Hashanah morning, when we open our eyes wide, when we open our arms wide and welcome in everybody, not just those who seem like us, but everybody who essentially are like us. We're all created b'Tselem Elohim. Then we create this inclusive community, blessed by God as every person has been. And then, feeling that blessing, we can do amazing things. Amazing things. Travel all over the world, as we talked about last night. Recognize that even in the depths of our despair, our problems, our pressures, our pain, we can rise up as long as we realize we don't have to live this way. We don't have to wait. We can walk forward. And then when there are fires and there are shootings and hurricanes and more, with someone here and someone here, we can walk our way through and find solutions, many solutions, to get us through and everyone through. And so let's bless each other the way our family does on Friday nights and Jewish families around the world. We are one family, we bless each other. Except we're three different communities of families, three sections. So if you're on the end of a row, find a way to connect with the people behind you or across the way. Let's really make this one, without talking, one line of people. Connect to the people in front or behind. And repeat after me. I already feel blessed by your presence, so look at each other, bless each other, and say, Yivarechecha
Yivarechecha
Adonai
Adonai
v'yishmerecha.
Yishmerecha.
May God bless you
May God bless you
and watch over you.
and watch over you.
Ya'er Adonai
Ya'er Adonai
panav elecha
Panav Elecha
v'yichuneka.
V'yichuneka.
May God shine upon you
May God shine upon
and
you
be gracious unto you.
and be gracious unto you.
Yisa Adonai
Yisa Adonai
panav elecha
Panav Elecha
v'yasem
Yasem
lecha
Lecha
shalom.
Shalom.
May God be with you
May God be with you
wherever you are.
wherever you are.
And may God grant you
May God grant you
and me
and
and the whole family
and the whole family
and the whole congregation
and the whole
and
congregation
the whole world
and the whole world
with the best blessing,
with the best blessing,
the blessing of shalom.
the blessing of shalom.
Amen.
Amen.
And if you're comfortable, give the people next to you a hug or a kiss. Page 189. In a moment, same thing on Yom Kippur morning. You give people a chance, Jews a chance to give someone a kiss. They're doing it. They're checking out who's got the best break the fast. I'm not going with you anymore. I'm going with you, whatever. So a few things. First of all, I don't even know how to do this, but there are important things in life, and then there are fun things in life. Important is health, important is love, important is safety, important is security. Fun things that give us meaning are moments like today when our Dodgers are, and they're mine, my Red Sox are out, don't tell us, some people are whatever, our Dodgers are playing. God doesn't take sides in games of baseball. I've researched this, I've checked it out. If God took sides in baseball, the Red Sox would still be in the pennant. But may each of the players on our team play their best, give their all, so that they can raise up the team and raise us all up with joy and excitement, so that we can go the distance. And when it's done, we celebrate not just by lifting up a glass of wine, a soda, a beer, but by making a gift at tzedakah, raising other people up at the same time. That's how Jews do it. In a minute, we're going to move into Ne'ilah, the closing of the gates. So before I do, a couple of thank yous. A thank you to our soloists,
Our clay kodesh.
our Clay Kodesh, 3 of them, for lifting us up with music.
For Jacqueline and Rachel and Anna, who sang so beautifully.
And thank you for our instrumentalists. Thank you, Fred, on the oboe, lifting us up, and Aaron, not only for playing piano, but organizing and watching the sound and helping lift up all the instrumentalists throughout the entire High Holy Days to higher and higher levels, as you've done. Better and better and unbelievably better year after year after year. So thank you. Thank you to, she's out in the foyer, but to Karen Pofsky, who a couple of years ago when we realized we had to be here because Evita was in our venue, coming here, we went to Karen. She is an incredible director of event planning, or I get the title wrong, but some macher over at Fox Entertainment and or the whole company, whatever, and runs these huge things. And so she did small things like the Emmy party there and the Super Bowl or whatever, and then she does important big things like Congregational or Me. Okay. But thank you for making it so simple and easy. Thank you to Peter, where is he? To Peter Kraut, who said yes to running the High Holy Days and has used his incredible engineering brain. Some of you don't know this, but when we built out this place after the first 5 years of being here, our contractor hired an engineer, and in walks this guy and says, "Hi, I'm Peter Kraut, and I'm a member of your congregation." I was like, okay. And so all the things that work good, it's because of Peter. And the things that don't, it's because we've messed them up. But Peter took his engineering brain and took what he inherited from all sorts of volunteers before him. Richard Rutkin did it last year and others before, to lift this up and take it to the next level. So literally, the moment we drove up, everything was taken care of, and he thought about little things and big things. It's a huge job. He had a whole team of volunteers. But Peter, we thank you tremendously for getting us to these gates and soon through them. Sitting by his side, but not just by his side, partners, is Leslie Kraut, who is Orame's current president. Leslie came into the synagogue right after we had all sorts of familial stuff, and then we took an Israel trip and an Italy trip, and then we went home, and then soon after my father passed away. And Leslie has taken the ship of Orami, not only steered it straight, but taken it in wonderful directions, much of which you have yet to see because it's about to come to fruition, but has steered us well in ways that our adult programming is going to expand now, our community organizing is going to be expanding now. Fiscally, we are on fantastic footing, and you are a pleasure to work with, a joy to think with because of your creative mind and the way you can take things and just make them calm and easy and figure out what we need to do and move forward. It's an honor to work with you. I speak for all of the clergy up here, so thank you to Leslie. We have a number of interns who work with us, and they are the lifeblood of Congregational Army. They make things happen that we can't even think about. So I think two of them are here. In the back of the room is Alana Rabashaw, all the way in the back. And in the front right here is Adrian Pasternak, two rabbinic students of, I think there's 4 or 5, and an education student who are schlepping all the way out here to be with us and learn, and you lift us up in many ways, so thank you. Thank you to our board. Thank you to our staff. Thank you to our partners in liturgy, Cantor Doug, Rabbi Julie, and myself. Work hard, but have a lot of fun creating and breaking the boundaries. It's a joy. Thank you to our chorale, some of whom are here today, the rest of our instrumentalists. And thank you to you for being here, for lifting us up in prayer. In a minute, we're going to open and for those I forgot to thank you too. I haven't eaten in 24 hours. In a minute, we're going to open the doors of the Ark, and it's tradition that we stay standing through the closing of the gates. Following the final sound of the Tkiya Gedolah, we'll make Havdalah, separating the holy from the new year, and then There's some nauseous as you leave, and you have to wait till
Can't
the
go
end.
right now.
You can't go in heaven.
Doesn't work that way.
So we'll stand, and if it becomes difficult, you'll sit until you can stand again. I'm going to let our shofar chorale know that when we get to page 194 and sing Avinu Malkeinu, come on up to the bima, come on up and take your place in the shofar sounding. Those of you who haven't been assigned places, stand somewhere around the congregation and get ready to sound the Tekiah Gedolah. And so we rise. You got plenty of space. The dusk draws closer. The close of the day is symbolic of the close of life. In all the calendar of Judaism, there is no moment more poignant than this one. All through the day, the flood of prayer has ebbed and flowed. Now, as the sun sinks low, as the shadows of night draw near, we feel a new pitch of intensity.
We live only once. Do we not want to live fully? The corridor of life stretches before us. Each of us must walk down its stately length. The gates do not stand open forever. As we walk down the corridor, they shut behind us one by one. At the end, they are all closed.
This is the meaning of Ne'ilah, the closing of the gates. Before it is too late, let us enter the gates that lead to Torah and mitzvot. Let us enter the gates to those things in life which abide eternally. Before the gate swings shut, before the doors are closed. Everlasting God, we turn now to you once more on this high holy day to cry out our longing and the longing of all people for a beginning of that wholeness we call peace. Ever and again, we now admit we have turned our backs on you and on our brothers and sisters, on all people, forsaking your Torah, denying your truth, ignoring your will, defacing your beauty. The intelligence you have implanted within us, we have applied to the arts of war. With the skill we have from you, we make engines of terror and pain.
Pray for peace, even as we laughed at truth, for blessing but did not care to do your will, for mercy and have shown none to others. We have prayed for impossible things, peace without justice, forgiveness without restitution, love without sacrifice. But you, our Maker, abound in grace. So now again we turn to you, to attach ourselves to your purpose, to set ourselves on the paths that lead to the coming of peace and right, freedom and joy for Israel and all the world.
Again, as the shadows fall, we ask forgiveness. And again, we praise you, O God. Second to last paragraph on page 190.
And there's a new lyric for the close of the gates. The second line of Hebrew, instead of kot venu, it's chot menu.
Instead of write us in the book of life, it's please seal us in the book of life.
Zochrenu l'chaim.
page 193.
O Mentor of Israel, be with this congregation and with all our members, their families and their households. Prosper them in their various callings and occupations. Help them in their needs and guide them in their difficulties.
Hear the prayers of all who worship here. Comfort the sorrowing and cheer the silent sufferers.
Bless those who guide and who serve this congregation and those who so often contribute to its strength. We pray for the ability to recognize what is good and for the will to promote it. We seek the joy of attaining lives that are good in your sight.
Help us to bridge the gap between our conscience and our conduct. We Jews are linked by a covenant that we are not free to break. We are part of a covenant people whose ancestors heard God's voice, whose prophets beheld the Almighty in visions. We have been compared to a lamb torn by wolves and to a lion unafraid to walk among the peoples. We Jews are linked by a covenant we are not free to break. Let's read together and let's think together as we say. Let not egotism, personal or national, seal our ears to the cry for compassion, tzedakah, or the voice of commandment, mitzvah. Therefore let us commit our hearts and souls and might to accept in love the covenant of Sinai,
to do that which is expected of us, to live day and night the covenant between God and Israel. Avinu Malkeinu, we pray for life. Bless us once more with a year of life, so that we may be privileged to complete the year we have just begun. Despite the burdens and the heartbreaks, the pains and perils, we want to live. We ask to be sealed in the book of life.
But even as we pray, may the new year be for us a time for enhancing the quality of our lives, enriching their content, deepening their meaning.
To keep our minds alive, may we be open to new ideas, interchanging challenging doubts, re-examine long. Help us to keep our hearts alive. May we develop greater compassion, be receptive to new friendships, and grow more sensitive to those who surround us.
Help us to keep our souls alive. May we be more responsive to the needs of others, less vulnerable to consuming greed, more attentive to the craving for fellowship. Help us to keep our spirits alive. May we face the future with confidence, knowing that every age has its unique joys and satisfactions, each period in our lives a glory of its own.
Help us keep our faith alive.
We're beyond our years.
Whether our years be few or many, help us to link our lives to the life of our people and to our eternal faith.
Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu va'anenu, ki ein banu ma'asim, asei imanu tzedakah v'chesed v'hoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu, our parent, our ruler, have compassion on us, for we are not perfect. Deal with us both in justice and mercy, so we may be renewed.
Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Avinu Malkeinu, Haneinu Vaneinu, Ki ein banu ma'asim, Aseh imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, Aseh imanu, Tzedakah v'chesed, ve'yoshienu. Avinu Malkeinu.
Page 195. Day softly tiptoes out through the western horizon. Can we hear the chorus of the hosts on high? Not the words.
But God's soft-spoken plea is heard. Keep open your gate. Keep open your gate. Close not your last remaining hope. O guardian of Israel, who performed wonders for our ancestors and led them out of ignorance and darkness into knowledge and light, perform a wonder in us too. Lead us step by step into goodness, holiness, peace, and togetherness in the year to come.
Whether by birth or by choice, we are heirs of a covenant, a partnership entered into at Mount Sinai 32 centuries ago. There we learned there is a God who can and will help us. There is a guidebook that can and will lead us.
There's a holy community that can and will spiritually elevate us. If we want to live more, we must love more. If we want to have more direction and purpose in our lives, we must study more Torah.
If we want to live healthier and holier lives.
If we want to live in a more compassionate world, we must give more tzedakah and multiply our deeds of kindness. Today is the day to begin anew. With God's help, we open the doors to go forth into a new year of life.
For 25 hours, we have prayed out our hearts and minds on this Yom Kippur. As evening comes, the long fast draws to a close. Tens of thousands of words have been spoken and sung. And yet, there are further unspoken feelings buried within us. So we muster our remaining physical and spiritual resources and make one last desperate attempt to descend into the human depths and to climb to the divine heights. We cry out, Shema Yisrael. We repeat Baruch Shem Kavod 3 times. We stammer 7 times, each time at a higher and more urgent pitch, Adonai hu ha-Elohim, Adonai is God. No longer is it the meaning of the words, but rather their rhythm, their insistent repetition in which we place our hope. And finally, we abandon human voice and verbal expression altogether. We reach for the shofar, and through its one piercing cry, Tekiah Gadolah, our heart's desires reach the heavens. We begin with Va'anachnu.
אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. שמע ישראל אדוני אלוהינו אדוני אחד.
Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Shem Kivod Malachuto Leolam Va'ed.
Adonai hu ha-Elohim.
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 Adonai hu ha-Elohim. Adonai ha-Elohim.
Tekiah Gedolah. Good Yontif. We make Havdalah. Closing.
Laila
us up on the bima. So there are three symbols with which we end the Shabbat and the holy day of Yom HaKippurim. They're even more meaningful if someone will turn down some of the lights, but not the lights up here. So
The
try
bottom of the two,
bottom.
the bottom two sections. Excellent. And then on the top section, lower the first two.
Beautiful. Leave it there. There are three symbols with which we end the Sabbath and end this holy Yamim Noraim. We have sweet wine or grape juice or apple juice. Tastes just as good now. It reminds us of the sweetness of this past year that we remembered on Rosh Hashanah. It reminds us that there will be sweetness in the year to come if we help each other find the sweetness and lift each other up. There are sweet smelling spices grown on God's earth. As the Midrash reminded us, God gave us this earth to take care of. It's a little bit of a pit. Let's do a little work this year to bring it back to the level, to the place that God would be proud of us. And finally, a multi-wicked candle. We each live lives alone, but we come together and create this warmth, this community. It gives me the belief, the hope, the promise that we can transform not only ourselves, but we can transform this world in the year to come. Because with the love emanating from each of us individually, we create a flame, a warmth, a light. And so we sing.
Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu,
Adonai
Melech haolam,
melech haolam,
Borei pri hagafen,
borei hagafen, borei
Baruch atah, Adonai Eloheinu, Melech haolam, Borei minei v'samim, Take your hands and cup them a little bit. Make it look like you're trying to look at a great new manicure. But point it towards the fire and see if you can capture some of the light in your fingernails. And then you might turn your hands facing it and go back and forth, see the light and the dark. Some people capture that light and place it on their eyes, on their foreheads. And we sing a blessing, thanking God for the gift of this warm light. And you can hold on to each other's again. Arms around each other.
Baruch
Adonai Eloheinu,
Adonai
Melech haolam, Borei me'orei ha'esh, ben kodesh l'chol.
המבדיל בין קודש לכל. המבדיל בין קודש לכל.
Eliyahu hatishbi.
Eliyahu hatishbi.
Eliyahu. Eliyahu hagiladi.
Eliyahu hagiladi.
Bimheira v'yamenu. Yavo elenu. Im Mashiach ben David. Im Mashiach ben David. Eliyahu Hanavi. Elijah the prophet is the one who is said to come and announce the coming of the Messiah, and an end of war and violence and famine and more. But we Jews don't wait for any Messiah to come. We organize, we get out there, we change the world so that when the Messiah arrives, the world is already there, and then it will be a Shana Tova.
Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova, Shana Tova.
A good year,
a good year,
a year of peace.
a year of peace.
May gladness reign,
May gladness reign,
and joy increase.
and joy increase.
And we put our arms still around each other. We close as we do every service, every board meeting, every time the young ones are together and the less young ones. We end with Hashkivenu. It's a prayer that asks God to watch over us at night, both the physical nighttime and also the times in our lives that feel dark, and to remind us that there's goodness and there's hope. And I will give you the words, and then we'll sing them together, and then we'll do motzi, and then we'll slowly go out. Make sure you drink a little bit before you eat a little bit. They say that's what you're supposed to do. Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu
L'shalom. L'shalom. V'ha'amidenu shomrenu. L'chaim. Ufros aleinu. Ufros aleinu. Sukat lomecha. Amen.
shelter us beneath thy
Oh Adonai,
Adonai.
guard us from all harmful things.
Guard us from all harm.
Oh Adonai,
Adonai.
keep us safe throughout the night
Keep us safe throughout the
till we wake with morning's light.
till we wake with morning.
Teach us daily wrong from right.
Just daily wrong from right.
And so the year is here. Yom Kippur is over. And look at what we've done and what we've created. It's not the cantor, and it's not the rabbi, and it's not the rabbi, and it's not the interns, and it's not even the president or the board. When Jews and Jewish families and community get together and commit ourselves to take the words of Torah, the ideas that are in those scrolls and those ark, and bring it out into this sanctuary and then out into the world, including everybody, wrapping everybody in our arms, pushing aside hate, moving towards justice, towards compassion, towards kindness, then we can transform not only this congregation and this state, but this nation and this world. And then it will be a Shana Tova, and that's worth singing Amen to. So let's sing.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
Mommy, take some, get some. A good new year.